Hi you guys, welcome back to my channel, and as you can see from the title, we're going to be detangling my natural 4C hair today. I have a lot of hair, and on wash day detangling this can definitely be a drag. So what I'm going to show you is how I make my DIY apple cider vinegar detangling spray. This helps tremendously on my wash day, and it cuts it down very quickly. And so for this spray, you will need, of course, a spray bottle. I actually purchased this from Sally's, and you can get this for around like $3 to $4. You'll also need, of course, the apple cider vinegar, and whenever you purchase this, make sure it has this nutrient called with the mother or the mother. It's packed with nutrients when it has that. Also, you will need coconut oil and olive oil. You will also need, like, I mean, you don't need to use measuring spoons or a measuring cup, but this is optional. You can just eyeball the amount that you want to use. So getting started with this spray, you'll need to measure your apple cider vinegar. Whenever you're putting in apple cider vinegar, you want to remember the ratio of 1:3. What that means is for every 1 tablespoon, for example, of apple cider vinegar that you put in the tablespoon, then you'll need to also add in 3 tablespoons of water. Again, for every 1 tablespoon of apple cider vinegar, you'll need to also add in 3 tablespoons of water, and it would also be the same ratio if you were using cups. For every 1 cup of apple cider vinegar, you'll need to use 3 cups of water. It just depends on how much hair you have, and also how much of this mixture you want to make. So what you see me doing here is pouring in my apple cider vinegar. For me, since I have a lot of hair, I'm going to actually do 5 tablespoons of apple cider vinegar, and what that means is I'll have to put in 15 tablespoons of water. Okay, so I have added in all of the water, and as you can see, this is the amount of liquid that I'm going to use to detangle my hair. You guys, again, can kind of eyeball it and see how much you'll need for your hair. Now what I'm going to do is use the measuring spoon to add in the olive oil. I'm actually using half a tablespoon actually to add in the olive oil. This is going to add the moisture to your hair as you're putting in this apple cider vinegar, because the apple cider vinegar is already an acid, and so you want to use some sort of, or I would recommend using some sort of moisturizing oil. And for me, my 2 choices are going to be olive oil and coconut oil. I'm also going to put in another half a tablespoon of coconut oil as well. My coconut oil, as you can see, is solid, and that's typically the way a lot of coconut organic coconut oil will become in a solid state. I'm actually just going to put that in there in a solid state. I was just being extremely lazy because I did not want to take the time to melt the coconut oil. I do recommend melting it so that way you can get, you know, just that liquidy kind of mixture, but I just put mine in there solid. But again, definitely go ahead and take that extra time to melt it so that way you could get the full effect in mine. However, still did detangle my hair awesomely, and my hair was just, it came out so moisturized. I was like so shocked, because I know as 4C, our hair can be extremely dry, and the fact that this, you know, detangling spray along with the apple cider vinegar just really helped moisturize my hair and helped me to get prepared to wash it that day. So again, you guys can melt it or keep it solid if you want, if you'd like. So now I'm just giving it a good shake, and we're gonna get ready to start washing my hair. Okay, you guys, what you see here is as a result of me just taking out a protective style, my hair right now is very matted, very dry, and filled with dandruff. I actually had a wig on that I wore for about 2 months, and I didn't really, honestly, I did not do enough maintenance on, when my hair was in this protective style during this time. So now I'm paying for it because now I have to go through and detangle it. But the detangler that I showed you guys how to make earlier in the video is going to work perfectly. Like, oh my goodness, this detangler is great for hair that is extremely matted because, again, it has that apple cider vinegar in it, which is going to break up the debris, and you'll find that some of your knots will be like sliding out of your hair. So I mean, this detangler is definitely going to cut down on your detangling time. I feel like it's a perfect detangler for 4C hair. And like, again, it's going to just make it so much quicker for you to be able to wash your hair. I highly recommend before you get in the shower that you detangle your hair. It doesn't have to be to perfection because I'm actually going to be finger detangling, but I feel like it's going to, if you detangle your hair before getting in the shower, it's definitely going to minimize knots and tangles and ultimately breakage, because we definitely want to focus on retaining, making sure our hair is healthy and retaining length, and detangling is the way that's part of the process of retaining the length that you have. So what I'm doing right now is sectioning off the top of my head. I like to section off the crown of my head from the rest of my hair, just because I like to give special attention to that section. That section for me tends to be more sensitive than the rest of my head, and also I find that I get more breakage in that area. So I like to try to section it off from the rest of my hair just to kind of give it that extra attention. In this area on my in the crown area of my head, particularly a few years ago, I had a setback where my hair was really extremely short, and so again, I just kind of like to, make sure that, I don't get a lot of breakage in that area and just really take care of it. I was able to grow my hair back from that setback, so that's awesome. If you guys want to hear a video on how to grow your crown back, definitely go ahead and leave me a comment below. I'd love to discuss that, or do a video on it just to help out, if you need tips on how to maintain your crown and how to, keep it moisturized and just take care of it basically. So, and my hair was able to grow back, and it grew back healthily. I still would say that it is still, a work in progress. But I would say that it caught up to the rest of the length of my other hair, and it's healthy. I would say it's good, but again, it's also still a very sensitive spot for me. So if you guys want to see a video on that, definitely leave me a comment below. So what I'll do at this point is go ahead and section off the rest of my hair, and then we can start the process of applying the apple cider vinegar spray. All right, you guys, so I've sectioned off my hair and I've balled it down to this little small section here. So I'm just kind of going through just to kind of assessing my hair. And what I'm going to do now is apply the apple cider vinegar spray to my hair, just kind of saturate it a little bit. And immediately upon just kind of running my fingers through my hair, I could feel how soft it's gotten and how moisturizing it feels. So now I'm just kind of breaking it up. I'm trying to be as gentle as possible, but can you see this knotted, matted section here? So what you would do with a section like that is just kind of go, try to pull it apart, but don't be too rough. And just go kind of, sometimes you got to go strand by strand, because again, you don't want to just rip your hair apart because that's going to cause more breakage. We want to, try to retain as much volume in our hair, and length in our hair as possible. So just be really careful whenever you're detangling. Sometimes you may have to go through each section and just kind of pull off strand by strand out of a knot, and that's totally okay because that's how you keep your hair healthy. That's how you keep it full. And I love voluminous hair. I love voluminous hair. So definitely taking the time to pull apart those strands, I would highly recommend it. And again, in this section, I sprayed a little bit more of the spray and just kind of going through and, separating the strands of my hair. With this spray, you'll find that a lot of the knots are just like sliding out. So you're not really getting a lot of breakage. Which is awesome. Before, when I used to try to detangle my hair without this spray, I would get so much breakage in my hair. It would just be a lot. And so with this spray, it definitely reduces this breakage. See, that's like, look at the little shedded hair that I got, like, and that's like a strand. And then in total so far from that section, that's all I pulled out of my hair so far. So what I'm going to do now is get ready to kind of twist, but it looks like I have another little knot here. Again, see, this is another example of a knot that you kind of just want to be careful with, because little knots like that can definitely just break off your hair. So you see how I'm just kind of going through there, carefully and trying to separate it as much as I possibly can, because again, you don't want to let no strand, get left behind. So I'm definitely all about my strands. See that little knot there? Knots like that, as small as it is, can rip off a lot of healthy hair. So you want to take your time whenever you're detangling. But again, I feel like this detangling spray is definitely going to cut back on the time you spend detangling knots like that, because it's working on your behalf to, break down the debris on your hair before you really even have to get in it. So now I'm just twisting up that section and moving on to another little mini section to detangle. There I was having some trouble trying to get that out, trying to get the clips out. So now I'm going to section it off again and just kind of repeat the same step of, putting my detangling spray on there and, going strand by strand and working my fingers through my hair. So immediately after I put in the spray, again, I'm just kind of going through my hair as gently as I possibly can, but also as quickly as I can, just kind of separating it as much as it wants to separate. And then if I run into any, tangled or knotted hair, then I definitely, isolate that section and, make sure that I take it out. As smooth as possible. Now you see that section here, I just was kind of running my fingers through, and that's the little bit of hair that came out. I just feel like this detangler is just awesome, you guys, and just really, you don't even really have to do much. You're just basically running your hands through your hair and the hair is just falling out. Any dead hair is just falling out on its own. So here I am again, just kind of separating my strands as much as they want to be separated. Again, this is not in a perfection type of detangle. It's a finger detangle. So please keep in mind that you're probably not going to get every single tangle and knot out, but the purpose of this is to get majority of them out with low manipulation as possible. So again, just wrapping up that section, twisting it up, and then moving on to the next little piece. Okay, so I am pretty much done detangling that section, and now I'm just going to quickly twist it up And basically, that completes that section of that whole little section or quadrant of my hair. And I'm basically going to repeat these same steps throughout the rest of my hair. And then I will be ready to wash my hair. But it was so easy. I actually forgot to add that little piece in. So I'm going to untwist that and then add that piece in just so that way. Um, Everything will be in its right section. We don't want any hairs crossing over into another section, but that's basically it. This was like so easy with this little spray. I know it definitely reduced my detangling time and my hair feels great, feels moisturized. So I will move on to the next section. Now I'm going to get ready to wash this out, and I just want to thank you guys so much for watching. If you like this video, definitely don't forget to give it a thumbs up, and if you want to see more videos like this moving forward, hit the subscribe button and also the bell notification so you can get my videos every time I upload. Thank you and have a good day. Bye.